At the end of chapter 4, I promised that we were going to work on the cover. However, I'm going to save that for the next chapter. This chapter we're going to work on the center wrap of the book, as this is a very important section, and it was also extensively covered in tape. Okay, what we're working on now is the center wrap. I didn't want to put everybody through the same process as before watching me remove all the tape. Now, the center wrap is the structure that the staples bond to, and it was extensively covered with tape. So we're going to lead off right now with just going through the process of doing the paper repair after the tape removal. Okay, so we're back to the center wrap. So we have a few things going on here. We have a bent corner right here, which is, it's not really bent, it's missing, it's rounded. So we can do something that. We got a split here. We have some open areas down here. Let's see, there's another split right here. And several splits along the bottom. Another split over here. We have some staining up here. That's I don't think that's going to come out. That was underneath the tape. We definitely have a large split here, a significant split almost all the way down the spine. So then you can see tape residue here. That's I've got off everything I can get. There's just nothing there. That's a little bit of staining in the paper. So what we're going to do here is we always want to put our repairs to a spine on the inside page, and we try to make it as little to no visible sign that we did it. Now this is just practice. This is kind of a training event because we all know the status of this book. So we have a little notch there. So I'll put basically a thin strip right in between here. We'll seal these up and we'll get these other edge pieces. Now, in case you were wondering, I did take the tape off camera. You saw how it was removed before, but these are all the pieces right here. So they have a nice 90-degree fold that was in here. You know, somebody did a nice job, but however, this must be removed. So off it comes. So I'll put those right there. All right, so what we're going to do first is we're going to get this wet because we always do our paper repairs with a damp paper. So I'll go ahead and put that in between two pieces of Hollytex. We'll get it wet again. We'll take off all the bulk of the water. Then we'll come back and we'll do these repairs. Okay, we're back with our damp wrap. So what we have, and I'm looking at the center piece, which is the most damaged part of it. I'll go ahead and pull this back so we can expose it. What I want to do is gently push everything together, and it's actually it looks pretty good actually. So there's some gentle tears in here, but there's no pieces missing. So what we want to do is I got a piece of a large strip of Tengu-jo, and what I'm going to do, and this is probably the easiest way, I don't know if we can see it on camera here, but I'm going to take this ruler and I'm going to tear it along the edge. So this way we can get some nice feathery edges that should fit right down the spine. And let me do that. It doesn't look like it's going to be on camera, so you just have to take my word for this. We'll tear this very carefully. Sorry, I wish you could see this, but fortunately I don't have an extra hand. So I'm just using the ruler as a straight edge. I don't want a cut edge. Like I said, I want those nice feathery torn edges. And that is exactly what we're after. Because the reason we do this is it helps the individual fibers bond with the book itself. Okay, looks like I got a piece here. So what I've got here is this strip. Now, it's a full length. It should fit right down the center of this. I think we'll use it because the most damaged part is towards the top. And again, this is the inside piece. So I'm going to lay this down and try to fit everything so it runs right down the center here. And I'm not pressing, I'm just kind of using my finger to align everything. And that looks like we got a winner. I'll take some of these really extraneous pieces out here because they're not attached to anything. Okay. And as for this, we'll just lay that down. And now I'll take the wheat paste and we'll run it right down over the top of this. So as with everything, we brush away from the center. So I'll start at the edges and brush this in. What we're doing is we're taking these paper fibers and bonding them into the book itself. So the wheat paste will be absorbed into the paper below the Tengu-jo paper. And for people wondering, this is a accepted method of document repair in the conservation world. My colleagues and I, we do a lot of research. There's people that have been doing conservation work for many, many years. Let me get these beaded parts up. They'll come out anyway, but if I can pick them up with the brush, I will. All right, this is looking very nice. Okay, let's go ahead and, I am left-handed, so you guys have to forgive me. But they do say the left-handed people are the smart ones. Oops, that one folded over. Let's go ahead and take that away. So I'm just using, minimal amounts of wheat paste here. Now, as you can see, it's blending in nicely. And when I'm done, hopefully, it will be barely noticeable. But again, this is the center wrap, and it is the back side. And I know a lot of you see these beads, these thick beads. That's part of the wheat paste. You can use methyl cellulose. It will definitely go a little bit smoother. However, this is going to be compressed underneath the Hollytex. And there'll be relatively, in fact, there shouldn't be any bumps or beads. A lot of people use a little roller, like a ink layers roller, a rubber roller. That works great. I am a tactile person. I like to feel things underneath for any bumps or abnormalities, and we address those. All right. So I'm happy with this. I think I'm going to put one more reinforcing piece just on the top before we smash this down and call it a day. I think this should cover right about there just fine. Oops, that's a little bit much. All right, so we'll just brush this down. Okay, I'm happy with that. We'll pick up that little bead there. All right, So we do have these beads through here, so here's what's going to happen. Anything that doesn't pick up in the brush is going to get crushed. And when I say gets crushed, I'm going to mash it down with my finger. Alright, so the way that works is I'm going to take this Hollytex and lay it right down over the top. And I'm gently going to do this. And as I said before, the wheat paste does not stick to the Hollytex, even though it'll push on through. Got that. So now with that, I'm going to go ahead and get my water bottle. We're going to spray this center section real quick. And this is just water. So again, I can really feel any abnormalities where it's not flat. And I can just press down with my fingers. Alright, so this is working out just fine. So when this is drying under pressure, and this is something that I do, I keep you're just dealing with single wraps here. So it doesn't matter if it's crushed or not, and I think crushing it in the heat press works just fine because it forces everything smooth. Okay, this is going. I have a little bump there. That's a little bead of gummy goo. Okay, so everything is done here. So the center piece is now done. So we'll go ahead and move over here. There's a couple of edge tears that I wanted to look at here. There's this one right here. Try not to make it worse by touching it, and another one here. So we're going to address those next. The other thing you can do is take some wheat paste, and before you even put it down, I just put a little bead there and a little bead there. And then when we take our material, it's small pieces. These are tear seals. So as long as they're not grotesque, I'll put that one down there. And tear another piece off here. And this will cover this one here. Like that. Okay, and again, and I know some of you have been watching my videos. This is probably really boring to you, but it's necessary for anybody that hasn't seen how this is done. Okay, so again, same process. We'll go ahead and lay this down, make sure you don't have anything extra down there. Looks good. And we'll, again, take a little bit of water, get that wet, run our finger down, make sure there's no weird anomalies, and that's done now. So as you can see, this moves along fairly quickly as long as you are methodical about how you do things, which I try to be. The other thing is with this wheat paste, I like to use it warm. It goes much easier. I use Lineco wheat paste. It's designed for art, and it mixes very well. Follow the instructions to the letter. If you don't, you have a mess, and it just becomes really, really difficult to work with. Okay, there's that. Tear off another little piece here. And like I said, I mean, methyl cellulose works great. It really does. And I just happen to have wheat paste handy. I find wheat paste is stronger, which I like to use for any spine repair, which we've done earlier, and that's why we're still using it now. But for tear repairs, I think methyl cellulose is perfect because it's really crystal clear. mixed properly. Okay. Moving right on through here. Okay, so that's all done. And I believe I have another tear someplace along here. There's one here. Make sure there's nothing in the top that I'm missing. When the page is wet like this, it's very difficult to actually see these tears. Yeah, that's just a minor one right there. But the other thing is I don't want to go back and do this again. Because if you miss a tear, you gotta get things wet again. You can do spot areas, but I don't recommend that because if you have a section of the book that is dry and a section that is wet, when it dries, you're going to have some contractions in the paper. So it's either all dry or all wet. Well, since you're doing this method, it needs to be all wet. Okay. There's a little bugger up there. The corner is fine. I could have sworn maybe it's on the other side. Okay. Okay, let's peel this other side back and work on that. And now we have some stuff down here in the corners. Yep, this one is down here. That's a double tear right here. So we'll go ahead and put a couple of stripes here. Now, you don't want a patch quilt. And people may be wondering why I did the whole spine in one strip. Well, it's not going to show as much. It'll be a slightly different tint. I think I'll save that one for over here. It'll be a slightly different tint, but it won't be grotesquely noticeable. Granted, this book is kind of grotesque on its own with all the tape damage. But this is an educational video, and that's all it's ever meant to be. I do get asked quite a bit if I can, what do I charge? Well, I don't charge anything. My videos are free. What I really want is for you to learn. And if I can teach you something, how to take care of your own books, you're not paying a third party to do your comic book repairs. There's some great people out there, though. I like seeing the results from some of them. A lot of guys post on Instagram that have incredible results. Okay, I got another tear right there. I think that is it. There's this one starting there on the spine. Not the spine, on this edge right here, right about dead center, right there. Another one right there. So I'll take them. This also helps me spot the repairs so I don't miss anything. And you guys can turn the volume off if you don't like hearing me ramble. I generally talk through my videos. This piece I tore earlier, I'll use this on the edge, there. In case you guys were wondering, I know this is a terrible book, but we're going to send it into CGC, And yeah, maybe it's not worth that because they'll charge me, 30 some odd dollars per book. Okay, I wanted to bring you up to the heat press. So I've got this laid out right now, still sandwiched in between the Hollytex. I have a large sheet of galvanized steel. You can get this at Home Depot, about $20. Then I got one layer of double layer of paper towels. Everything's laying on top. I'll take another set of paper towels and lay that across the top. And then I take a second galvanized sheet. This goes down. And I have the heat press set. It's heated up. I use about 170 for this thing. We're just doing the one wrap. We'll do it for 10 minutes. So, and you notice it's very high up on this list, on this handhold, because I want a lot of pressure on this thing, because I don't want it to dry and contract. So what we're doing is we're using the heat press to dry the wrap, and we'll take a look at it when it's done here.
Now that the wrap has been removed from the heat press, all we have left is to remove the excess Tengu-jo paper. Again, we'll use our trusty number 23 scalpel to trim everything up with our clear ruler. Both tools I highly recommend that you acquire if you're going to be doing projects like this.
So there we have it. The center wrap is, the tape has been removed. The paper mend has been done. All in all, I think I'm pleased with how this turned out. Again, we'll put this with the other wrap and go into the blue light chamber and leave it at that. And then again, humidify it and recheck everything, and then we'll plan on reassembling it when the time is ready. We'll be moving on to the disastrous looking cover wrap pretty soon. Well, I have to admit that I absolutely hated how the gap came out in that center wrap. So I went ahead and redid it completely off camera, but I used the same methods. I just closed it up a bit.
And as always, if you like what you see here at the channel, please like and subscribe. I try to put out a video at least once a week that's supposed to be educational and to help you conserve your comics and make your collection last for years to come.